Good evening to everybody. Can everybody hear me? My name is Felipe Arroyave, President of Spectrum International. I see over 20 attendees from the Middle East. Thank you so much for attending this webinar. Today is Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Atlanta. I'm pretty sure it's nighttime in Lebanon, so we're going to make this short. We're going to make it efficient, and we're going to make it very, very easy to understand for every single person that is attending this webinar. Can everybody hear me? So if you can just send me a short message saying if you can hear me and if the audio is good, and if everybody can just tell me, okay, everybody can hear me. Okay, so everybody can hear me. Yes, greetings. Everybody saying hi to us. Well, thank you so much for being here. This webinar is being recorded. Thank you to Mr. Pierre and to Vicio Venti and our distributor in the Middle East for participating in this event. So basically, this is going to be a recap of what we talked in Lebanon a few months ago. With me today, I have Dr. Elise Kramer and Dr. Edgar Davila. Dr. Elise Kramer is an American doctor, is one of the most famous doctors right now in North America. She's a speaker for Spectrum International, and she's going to be speaking on behalf of Orion Vision Group today. And so today we're going to be talking about different products and the current market. So this is basically what the current market is experiencing right now. And as you can see in the United States, we're seeing a lot of customers buying their contact lenses online and buying their contact lenses through the internet. So we believe the future of the contact lenses is this one that you can see right now. So this were pictures taken in Russia, and these are pictures of actually vending machines that you can dispense and you can purchase soft contact lenses through these vending machines, just like if they were coffee, just like if they were any of the items that you get from vending machines, popcorn, sodas, etc. So right now, the FDA and the CE is approving the IQ, and the IQ is a mobile device that is going to be replacing optometrists and optical shops around the world. Basically, this is a device that you can insert into your phone. You can place it in your phone, and this device would allow patients to have an over-refraction, refraction, and order the lenses directly from the manufacturer. So now the customers are going to bypass the optical shops and they're going to bypass the optometry services that you guys provide. So this is the secret that I told you a few months ago. Do not sell contact lenses. I'm telling you, please stop selling contact lenses. Do not sell them. Please fit them. Fit contact lenses. We believe, and the market still believes, that every single eye is the same. And this is not accurate. This is completely wrong. Every eye is unique, and every single eye should be treated differently. So we're going to talk about Mark Envy, and this is a product that you currently have in the Middle East. So these are soft contact lenses manufactured by lathes, okay? So these lathable products can be made in every single parameter you can think of. So these are fully customized contact lenses that you can fit for any patient that you might think these lenses will work. So one of the key elements that we are finding is that doctors, optometrists, and visual specialists around the world are not taking the HVAD of patients. So we're seeing this every single day. So as you can see here, both of these corneas have a 4350 K value, but both of those corneas have a different HVAD. So cornea A has an HVAD of 12.2 and cornea B has an HVAD of 11.2. So as you can see, the curvature, the central curvature of those lenses is 4350 on the cornea A and 4350 on cornea B, and both of those corneas have different HVAD. So if you were to fit these patients using the same base curve and the same diameter approach, you will be fitting one of those patients incorrectly and it will not be properly fitted. So what we're trying to tell the industry and we're trying to tell you, the specialist, is that we need to take every single eye measurement. We need to take case, we need to take the refraction, but we also need to take the HVFD of every single patient. We also think that every single patient should use silicone hydrogel. This is not correct. There are multiple companies and multiple doctors around the world that have portrayed silicone hydrogel to be the best material around the world. This is actually not accurate. So you need to think of every patient as an individual eye, and you need to fit every single one of these patients using a unique material for them. So in the market right now for Mark Envy, we have hydrogels, we have silicone hydrogels, but we also have a biomimetic material. So what is this? What is a biomimetic material? A biomimetic material is a material that has the same decay value of silicone hydrogel, but it does not contain any silicone in it. So you can have the same oxygen passing through, but you're not going to find silicone in those lenses. So right now with Mark Envy, you can work with regular hydrogels, you can work with silicone hydrogels, and you can work with a biomimetic hydrogel lens that has the same decay value of a silicone hydrogel, but it does not contain silicone, okay? So out of every 10 patients, 3 of those patients will drop out of the industry. Why? Because they don't have comfort, they don't have a stable vision, or they have compromised eye health. And this is because we standardize our fits. So we said to the industry and we said to every single patient that every single patient was 8.6, 14.2. But please remember, this is not accurate. And I showed it to you on the previous slide. Okay, so with Mark Envy, you're going to find the most extensive portfolio of soft contact lenses in the industry. You're gonna have 3 materials, the materials that we talked about. You're gonna have silicone hydrogel, you're gonna have hydrogels, and you're gonna have a biomimetic material. You're going to find 11 base curves from 6.8 to 9.8. You're going to find 7 different diameters from 13.0 to 16.0. You're going to find 241 sphere powers from plus 30 to minus 30. You're also going to find 30 cylinders up to minus 8 in 1 degree up to 180. And you're going to have 8 different add values from plus 50 to plus 4. So as you can see, every single lens and every single patient can be fit using Mark Envy. So again, you have 3 materials. You have silicone hydrogel, you have hydrogel, and you have a biomimetic material. You have 11 base curves that ranges from 6.8 to 9.8, 7 different diameters from 13.0 to 16.0, 241 spheres, plus 30 to minus 30. And remember, this is the most important part when you're fitting toric lenses. You can find 30 cylinders that go from minus 0.50 to minus 8 in 1 degree axis up to 180. And something very important as well, 8 different values from plus 50 to plus 4. Okay. So what lenses are we going to find? And they're available in the Middle East already. So we have Gentle 80, which is a lens that contains a biomimetic material. So this lens, you're going to have the same decay value as a silicone hydrogel, but it does not contain any silicone. Here, you're going to find a silicone hydrogel lens. Here, you're going to find another biomimetic material. And these 2 lenses are lenses with silicone hydrogel with blue light protection. And you have it for both adults and for kids. Okay, so another lens that we saw a lot in the Middle East as well is the Cuatro Lens. This lens is a HEMA lens and is a yearly lens. It comes in a vial, so you can fit those patients that maybe cannot afford the silicone hydrogel lenses, the biomimetic materials, the silicone hydrogel lenses with blue light protection, but you want to find a good, reliable material that is not that expensive and that will last a year. So this is a completely customized HEMA material lens, and you can make any base curve, any diameter, and any power you wish on these lenses. Okay? So again, let's talk about blue light. So right now, blue light is in fashion right now. You can see Essilor, Luxottica, and a lot of the big producers of ophthalmic products promoting the use of blue light protection. So now we have the same blue light protection, but for contact lenses. So now you can give this protection for adults and kids, people that work with computers, people that work with mobile devices, people that want to have the protection of blue light, and also they want to get correction for the myopia, hyperopia, or astigmatism. So please know that we have those blue light protection lenses available. And last, we can personalize every single box of contact lenses you order from us. So we can put either your name, or we can put the practitioner's name, or your optical shop, or any given name that you want on the actual boxes. And let me tell you something. Right now, we want the Middle East to try our lenses. So Mr. Pierre Antaki from Lebanon has all these lenses available: Blue Kids, Blue Gen, Gentle 59, Sapphire RX, and Gentle 80 as trial lenses. So you can order custom lenses in -8, -4, Axis 8 with the base curve that you wish, with the diameter that you wish, and you can get a blister so you can try it on your patient's eyes. So please talk to Mr. Pierre Antaki, because he has several lenses customized for you that you can order for your patients, and you can try these lenses in a blister. So please talk to Mr. Pierre Antaki. And right now, I am going to tell you that we also have a great calculator that you can use when you're fitting your patients. So if you go to our website, if you go www.spctinternational.com, you go to specialized lenses, you go to Mark Energy, and you put the calculator, you click on the calculator, and you're going to find this link. And it's going to show you the actual calculator of every single lens that you want to fit. Okay? So now I am going to give the microphone to my dear friend, Dr. Elise Kramer, and I'm going to make her the panelist so that she can present her part of this presentation. Dr. Elise, microphone is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Give me a second. So, hold on. 1 second. So thank you very much. And you see my screen, right, Felipe? Okay. So thank you very much to Spectrum International, as well as to Felipe, for this amazing opportunity. It's definitely an honor to be here and to be able to speak on the other side of the world today, in the middle of the day here, but I'm very happy to be here. And I'm really passionate about this part of specialty lenses. It's actually a really big part of my practice. And what I find is that it's kind of maybe intimidating at first, but it's extremely rewarding, because what you can do is really change the lives of patients. And so, as Felipe mentioned, I work here in Miami. I also have an office in Weston. I trained at the University of Montreal in Canada, and I also trained here at the Bascom Palmer Eye Institute, which is also in Miami. And so what Spectrum International offers is cosmetic lenses to help patients who want to enhance or improve their visual appearance, also prosthetic lenses to improve double vision, or to improve photophobia, so light sensitivity, and also to improve the actual to improve therapeutic issues or functional issues that they may have due to any disfigurement of the eye, as you can see. And we also have special effects, which are great for movies or for fun, and which we'll go over as well. So as I mentioned, having a disfigured eye can really have an impact on your self-esteem, the self-esteem that the patients have. And this is something that becomes very apparent, and it became apparent to me, and that's actually why I got really involved in this specialty. So it's hard to understand sometimes how a patient feels, and it's hard to put ourselves in their shoes, but what I can tell you is that with both cosmetic and prosthetic lenses, you can really, really improve someone's life. You can really change their life. And so we're going to go over a lot of different cases and the different types of lenses that Spectrum International makes available all over the world. So you can see, for example, in this patient before, and you can definitely see the eye is disfigured, their non-seeing eye, and then after. So obviously, having a cosmetic improvement with a prosthetic lens like this can have extreme psychological benefits for any patients that are seeking this type of treatment. So Spectrum International is distributing BioColors, which is an amazing set. How does it work? Orion is the lab, and what they do is they design these lenses that are meant to be combined in different color patterns. These are the lenses that are going to help patients with ocular injuries or improve their cosmetic appearance. So you could see, if I go back to the slide up on the top left there, you could see the V series, which are colors to kind of enhance the eye color, and then the X series, which are these are made of more opaque lenses, which are actually going to really change the eye color a lot. So we have 21 different colors that are available with different iris patterns, and there's different color combinations. Really, there's an unlimited amount of combinations you can make, because I'll go over in a bit, but what you're doing is you're stacking these different lenses. You can stack them to create different combinations and come up with your own unique pattern in order to give your patient exactly what they're looking for. So you can help patients who have misshaped pupils, amblyopia, or other ocular anomalies. So you can see here how we can really, really change the eye color from a deep brown to something a little bit more orangey or lighter brown. And you can see here, after a trauma, how we're covering up, the iris. And let's go back to that one for a second. A patient like this may complain of severe light sensitivity, but what we can do is really reduce that pupil aperture and give them more comfort. So this is the outline of what we're going to go over today. So different materials and parameters. And Felipe just gave an excellent talk on the importance of being able to fit patients with different shaped eyes. Everyone is different, and you can really do that with these lenses. So these lenses are available in two materials, which are methacrylicon and polymacon. You can see that the sphere goes from +20 to -20, cylinder up to -6, and axis 1 to 180. So really personalizable and customizable. You can see the base curve from 7.8 to 9.2, so a huge range, and also the diameter as well. So for all types of eyes. And this is what the set looks like. You can see that there's different colors. There's the X series, there's the V series, which we'll go over on the right side. So here you can see these 4 different colors, and these are the underprint colors. On the top, that's just a black pupil there that you can use to show your patient, or to even see how we can achieve occlusion with that. There's a pupil, just this starburst here, that's for just design, if you want to create a little starburst design, and also the limbal ring, which you see under that, and that is to basically enhance the color of the iris. And you can see all the way here at the bottom this white device, that's a tool, the diagnostic fitting tool, that the lenses can be put on, and they can be combined in various different combinations and then compared to the patient's eye. So again, iris dimensions, the 12.25 is a standard for iris. And again, Felipe gave an excellent talk and really emphasizing the importance of measuring HVID. So here you have different HVIDs available, 10.5, 11.25, 11.75, and 12.75. So really customizable there for all different types of patients and different eye sizes. And not all pupil sizes are available, are the same. And so you can definitely modify that, whether you're looking for a clear pupil, so you can start at 2.8, go up to 6, and black pupil from 3 to 6 as well. And actually, you can go larger than 6 too. Limbal ring basically will increase the size of your HVID by about 0.5 millimeters. So just to keep that in mind when designing a lens. So double vision and occlusion is something that you may want to achieve sometimes with a prosthetic lens. So what do I mean by that? Well, sometimes you don't even need to put a color on the lens. Let's say the patient has completely normal looking eyes, just they have one eye they want to occlude. Well, in that case, you may just need a black pupil, and I actually do this a lot. In these cases, what you want to do is make sure the pupil is 2 to 3 millimeters larger than the maximum pupil size. So again, you want to measure the patient's pupil under very dark conditions, so scotopic pupil size, and then go 2 to 3 millimeters larger than that, so you can guarantee occlusion. And so basically, this is a great alternative for an eye patch. For example, I have a patient that has a wedding this weekend, and she has really, really bad distortion in one eye. And so instead of wearing an eye patch, I designed her a lens like this. And so she's really happy with that. So this is a great tool. And for patients, again, with a lot of light sensitivity, so for example, if you could see here in this patient, you have a very large, distorted maybe pupil, and that patient can have a lot of light sensitivity in that eyes. What we're doing is creating a prosthetic lens, but instead of covering the pupil, we're actually just reducing the size of it by using an underprint, and I'll go over that in a bit. But you can see not only is the appearance a little bit more normal, but the patient feels a lot more comfortable because we're giving her that therapeutic benefit of reducing the amount of light. So for these, what you need is a clear pupil aperture, and essentially what you're doing is eliminating uncomfortable light sensitivity. So this again are the different types of lenses that you're going to have in your trial set and available through Spectrum. So again, your underprint on your left, iris pattern, which is for just design, the color, starburst, again, for design and limbal ring. So how do you know what diameter to choose for your lens? The diameter is basically just standard. If you see in the fit set, they have a 14.3, and a 14.5 is usually what's used for just average size cornea. And like I said before, the standard iris diameter is 12.25, and in the set, your pupil size is going to be clear, and it's going to be 5 millimeters. So if you look at this chart on the right, you have that, let's say, the patient's average K reading and the lens diameter on top. So let's say you want a 14.5 and they have a K reading of 47. Well, then you're looking at a 4.3 base curve. So this is a really great guide to help you decide what base curve to select for your patients depending on their K and also on the HVID or the lens diameter that you want to choose. Again, diameter range for the lens is from 13.5 to 16, so a great range there. And base curve, we're going from 7.8 to 9.2 in 0.1 millimeter increments, so that's huge. And so how do you measure HVID? Ruler is great, just a basic ruler that you can find really easily, but a lot of topographers, if you do have a topographer in your office, a lot of topographers will give you that information as well. I like to do both, just to have kind of a comparison, and just to be able to make the most accurate measurements. So again, when we're doing cosmetic fit, as I mentioned earlier, we have two types of series of iris colors. We have the V series, which is just for light colored eyes. But if you really want to change, if you want to create a very big change, then you're looking at the X series. And like I said, what you're doing is you're taking that white diagnostic tool and stacking those lenses on, whether they're X or V, and I'll show you what it looks like. So if you look here, you have your starburst on, and then you have your limbal ring and two different iris patterns, and you can see what it looks like as you combine them. And what you are putting those on is the little white diagnostic tool, and then you could put that up next to the patient's eye and compare it and see what it looks like. So the order really does matter, because for example, if you put a baby blue color on top of a Caribbean blue, which are two different colors you'll find in the set, that's going to be different than if you put the Caribbean blue on top of the baby blue. So very important what the order is, and especially when you are ordering these lenses, it's very important to specify that order to the lab. So you can see here on the diagnostic tool, different what it looks like if you put if you change the order around, on the one on the left is the green one over the gray one, you can see that the green stands out more, and on the right side it's the gray over the green, so it's the opposite. And you can see the difference there. So very important, again, the order. I can't stress that enough. I even made another slide just to emphasize how important the order is. So specify, and when you do specify, you want to specify from the base all the way to the top. So from the first one all the way to the last layer is the order you want to specify. So if you are getting a residual cylinder in your over refraction, what you want to do is use this toric lens. This has markers on it. It comes in the fit set. It's a -3 at 180. And you just put that on, do an over refraction, and see that it's not rotating. Make sure it's in the right spot, and make sure you communicate that with the lab. So what is a prosthetic lens? What's the difference between a prosthetic lens and a cosmetic lens? How do they differ? So a prosthetic lens is actually going to block out the light. So it has an underprint, which is blocking out the light alone. That's the one thing that is opaque and blocking it. And then, you have two choices. Either you want to make it cosmetic because you're fitting it over a disfigured eye that is not seeing. So a blind eye, for example. So in that case, you just choose a black pupil and just the color combination. So underprint, black pupil, color combination, that is the best way to fit a prosthetic lens over an eye that is not seeing. But if you have an eye that you want to reduce the amount of light coming in, then in that case you're going to need something like a cosmetic lens, which still has an underprint, has a color, but in this case what you're doing is reducing the size of the pupil. And so that's why you need the underprint. Let's say you're reducing their pupil size from 8 millimeters to 4 millimeters. Well, your underprint is going to have a pupil size of 4 millimeters. So all that extra light is being blocked out, but it's still cosmetic in the sense that you are still changing the color. So those are two options you can do. And again, you just put those colors on your diagnostic tool with limbal ring and starburst and put it next to the patient's eye. So here you have the different underprint colors. It doesn't matter, they all block light the same way, but what you want to try to do is match the patient's eye as best as you can. So this is just a really great example. This are 5 different combinations of lenses you can see here in order, and look how much it looks like that eye right there. It's great. Great example. So another thing we can do actually is for patients who want to do a decentered iris. So iris diameter has to be at least 14.5 for that. And then you can actually decenter the iris up to 2 millimeters. So that's really useful if you have a pupil that's kind of decentered. If you have a patient with strabismus as well. So again, 2 millimeter decentration can do. So this is your dictionary. Underprint is your base for prosthetic cases, and they cover the iris to help reduce enlarged pupils. They can also help reduce the amount of light depending on the case. Starburst is just like I said, a pattern usually comes in a honey color, but you can choose any color you want. Limbal ring, usually it's black. But you can choose any color you want, and those are what they look like. Underprints are on the left, and the starburst in that picture in the middle with the limbal ring there. So how many color combinations can you do? I mean, usually what the lab recommends is about 4 to 5 stamps, so 4 to 5 different colors at the most. And again, the X series is going to be for people with really dark eyes. And the opaque colors alone, they don't block out light, so you really need an underprint to block the light. So you can see here in the case of an iris coloboma, this person may have a lot of photophobia or light sensitivity. Also, people with corneal opacities, obviously a blind eye in this case, you really want to just cover it completely and change. And iridia, these people are really light sensitive because they have a lot of light coming in, so you can reduce that pupil size. So all different cases. Also transillumination defects, so patients with that will have a lot of light sensitivity. So these are all really great cases. Changes in eye color, so you can do that using, again, the X series, create a dramatic change like you can see here in this picture. It's definitely a dramatic change, and we can do that with these opaque lenses. We got also enhance the eye color, so you can see here how that blue becomes like more vibrant. And I have actually a couple of patients doing this. These are for models or performers who want their eyes to just really, really stand up on stage or in photos. And you could see here some more ones that stand out more than others. And for patients, of course, you know, they're, like I said, the psychological benefits you can gain from this type of treatment are just remarkable, because you can see this patient here, how his appearance is, the white eye. I mean, just having a conversation with him, that's what he's worried, that's what people are looking at, and you could see how we can improve that and make this patient just feel so much comfortable. This patient can work now, I can get a job interview, just feeling more comfortable with themselves, improving their self-esteem. So this is a case of a 63-year-old Caucasian male who had cataract surgery, and after surgery noticed that they were seeing a lot of glare. Also, iris coloboma and perhaps keratoconus in the left eye, wearing a monofocal IOL, so intraocular lens implant. And you can see here that the visual acuity on that eye is 20/30. Refraction, we improved it a little bit, and we thought maybe, you know, this patient had keratoconus, so tried a RGP lens, but there was still glare, and that was the patient's main complaint. And so what we did is, you could see that eye, how deformed the pupil is, and I guess, you know, after the coloboma and the surgery and everything. So all we did was put an underprint on this. An underprint is just one lens, and it actually matched really, really well, and the patient did great. So definitely a great treatment. And like I said, the underprint is opaque and will block out all the light. So that was a great solution for this patient. This is a 38-year-old Hispanic female who was interested in cosmetic color. She also had astigmatism. She was wearing Fresh Look before, and you can see her topography here, just a basic astigmatism. And so we tried the lens, but what happened, there was a lot of rotation, 30 to 40 degrees. And so what we did here is, if you look at the original base curve was 8.6, we just made it a little bit looser, 8.7, and we only got 10 degrees of rotation, so it was a much better fit. So again, playing with that base curve really, really helps, and you can see the this finalized and patient really happy. So another aspect, as I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, is the more fun aspect, I guess, for movies or for Halloween or whatever type of costume occasion you may want. So Spectrum offers Gothic Eye Lenses. These are, again, just for fun. And you can see all the different patterns here. And that's myself actually wearing white cat on one Halloween. And this is a patient of mine wearing Walking Dead. This color is actually really, really popular for patients. So that is it. If you have any questions about that, I don't know, Felipe, if you wanted to take questions now or towards